Welcome back to another episode of Let's Have Breakfast. Today I have the amazing Kamron Daniel here with me today, and I'm so excited for this interview. Like, you have just such amazing energy, and I love watching your journey online. So I'm excited to bring you on to the podcast and just have a conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been watching your content journey as well, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on the podcast, but I do listen to the podcast, and I was like, oh, this is really dope. I love what she's doing here, and I love all the content that you're putting out online as well. So,
Thank
yes,
you. I love having mutuals online. Like, it's just like a fun little community where you get to engage with each other and just root people on. Like, it costs nothing, but like, I love watching other creatives thrive. So I'm excited to have you
me
here.
too.
Yeah, for
Me
real.
too. I feel like that's the beauty of social media. Like, although like there's negative sides of it, but it's like you have that small pocket of like supporters that you want to support and you want to see grow and like help them get to a different platform than what they started on.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. And like, you see some of the big creators now that you've been watching from the beginning, and it's like, it's a different kind of feeling to see them successful because you're like, I feel like that's my friend up there. Like, they're doing it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm excited to have you on so my listeners can get to know you a little bit better. I'm going to do a coffee break with you and ask you a few kind of like get to know you questions. So, the first is going to be, how would you describe your aesthetic in 3 words?
Aesthetic. That's a good question. I feel like my aesthetic changes through the seasons,
Yeah.
honestly. But I would say preppy in terms of like fashion. So like
Hmm.
my fashion is like very preppy, very clean, very sleek.
Hmm.
Um, aesthetic funny. I think I'm funny. I feel like that's a good word
Yeah,
to describe an aesthetic.
it
So
is.
preppy, funny, and flashy. Like I like to brag. Believe it or not, like I am kind of humble, but like once you get to that point in life where you just like, you know what? I am that person. I am that guy, that girl. Like it's time to brag. So clean,
Yeah.
funny, flashy.
I love flashy because like own it. You work so hard to be where you're at. Like I might as well just get my one too and then say, I did this. Like look at me.
Literally. And I had a hard time with that because I was like, oh, I want to be so humble. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm too arrogant. But it's like you said, I worked hard for this. Like
Hmm.
I made it to this level. I should be able to brag without feeling any type of way.
Yeah. And that's another like level of social media where it's like you don't see the behind the scenes that it took for me to even get this opportunity or be here. But like it's a humble brag because like if you knew how hard I had to work to get here, like you would say the same thing.
You would be like, you need to brag.
Right. Where are you currently based right now? Because I've seen you kind of all over the globe. You travel a lot. Where are you based right now?
I'm actually based right now in Baltimore, Maryland, where
Okay.
I was born. So the DMV basically, because like I'm here, Baltimore, here in DC, sometimes in Virginia. So yeah.
Yeah, cover the whole bases. So within your city, I know brunch is very popular in that area. So where is your favorite spot to get brunch and what is your go-to order?
So believe it or not, I'm not a fan of restaurants because
Mm.
how can I say this without putting down any restaurants? A lot of the restaurants here, they like to be flashy. The
Mm.
ambiance is very beautiful, very cute. The menu, the design is very cute, but then the food is not good. And it just be like, so y'all lied. Y'all
Hmm.
false dreams. So my favorite spot to actually eat from is this small deli that I've been going to since I was in middle school, I want to say, called Linden Deli on the west side of Baltimore because that's where I'm from, West Side. Shout out to West Side. And my go-to order, like I am a fan of breakfast potatoes. Like you could give me hash browns, like the
Mm.
actual square hash browns. You could give me
Hmm.
like breaded hash browns or like the actual home fries. So anything, but they have these good home fries. So my go-to order would be home fries and a sweet tea. Heaven. I
I
actually was
love
gonna go yesterday, but I
it.
ran out of time and I wasn't able.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. I love a breakfast potato too. Like I think home fries take the crown for me because it's just something about them.
So good. It's just like, oh my God. Like now I'm sitting here salivating just thinking about, dang, I should
Right.
have some the home fries just because then I would be like, it was good.
Right. Okay, that's next on the list. You have breakfast here first and then you go have breakfast there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this breakfast as well.
Yeah. It's gonna be top of the list next. It is now summer officially. The weather is nice, people are outside. What kind of summer are you planning on having?
And so I literally saw this tweet like maybe a week and a half ago. It was like, I think I'm about to quit my job and focus on summer. And I relate with that so much because I was like, this job is stressing me out.
Yeah.
Um, but in terms of what type of summer I want to have, I literally just want to have a great summer because I still feel like we're coming off the pandemic and everything being closed
Mm-hmm.
down. Like, I'm now feeling more willing to go outside because like we
Right.
have those restrictions and anything like that. So I want to do the amusement parks. I hate the beach, like I hate the water, but I
Oh.
want to go and get a tan because
Yeah. Mm.
it's been looking a little rough.
Yep.
Amusement parks, cookouts, parties, darties, sun. That's all I really want to do. I just want to enjoy life what it was before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And so were you in school when the pandemic hit? Yeah.
Absolutely. I was in school. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was going to the laundry room on my floor. My mom called me and she was like, "So when are you coming home?" And I was like, "What do you mean when I'm coming home? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And she was, "You haven't seen the news? You haven't heard anything?" And I was like, no, what's happening?"
Right.
You make sure you pack up all your stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll be home for a week. And a week
Mhm.
turned into 2 long, dreadful years.
Yeah, no, it certainly did. I was also in school, but I lived at
Okay.
home because
Oh,
I went to school in my hometown, so I just stayed at home to make it cheaper and like
smart.
more effective, which was nice in turn, but I didn't have to pack up a room or anything like that. But I was at work when I got the news and I was like, "Oh, we're just about to have a long spring break. Like this is about to be fun." Mm-mm. Ooh, it was not
It was
fun.
long, but it wasn't fun.
No, it was certainly something.
Very much something.
I feel like it was weird because we transitioned into like from college to real adult life. So if like there was just a jump in like I don't even know what real early 20s was even supposed to look like at this point.
Exact. I literally said this. I was like, I was in school, supposed to be getting this education, this knowledge, then went home, wasn't really getting education or knowledge. We were on YouTube University, and I graduated, going supposedly applying for jobs in the real world with no real world training because everything I did was online. And I was just sitting here looking crazy, like, what am I supposed to do? I have no training, no knowledge of anything. And you know how everybody be like, oh, just log in your application. They have to train you anyway. However, not in the field that I got my degree in. There's no real training. You get
Mm-hmm.
into they expecting you to know something. And if you don't know something, now you're fired and you could possibly be blacklisted. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Right. No, that's definitely an industry where you want that like hands-on experience. Like that's almost more valuable than the degree.
exactly. Then applying for jobs and then getting denied in internships, I was so hurt. I was like,
Yeah,
is
no,
it
me
me?
too. Especially like you went to an esteemed university like HBCU, very much known for having these high jobs like that people work their whole lives to get. I feel like that's always around grad season. You see Howard grads, they're going to work at Disney World, like they're going to work at these big corporations. And so it's like another layer of imposter syndrome where you're like, wait, but what about me? I've been in this club and I've worked on this board and like I'm just as talented. What about me?
Like they'll have their grad photos posted on like social media and then like, oh, this job offered this job offered that. And I was like, okay, okay. I post my little grad pictures online. Everybody, and then like everybody's pictures always go viral from
Yeah.
Howard. I posted my grad pictures, they did not go viral. I did not even have like I got accepted into this. I will be working here full time. I had none of that. So I was like, oh, I guess I did Howard a disservice.
It's okay. The market we graduated into it was not fair. So,
It was not
but
fair,
look
it
at us
wasn't
now, thriving.
thriving.
So, with that being said, like you're doing all these amazing, cool things. You're about to enter this new chapter of summer. Have a great summer. What would you say the soundtrack to your life is?
That's so hard because music is like ever changing. I've been listening to this song on repeat crazy, and I honestly don't believe the lyrics align with my life right now. But Espresso,
Mm,
something about that song that I listen to every morning, and it pumps me up to thrive, to have a good day because it's that me espresso. Shout out to Sabrina and her team, the engineer, whoever helped her make that song because
The people behind the scenes make it work.
talk about it. Let's talk about
Yep. We'll
it.
get into that. We'll get into that. And the last question I have for you for this little coffee break chat, what is something you wish you knew earlier in life?
Megan has this, I can't remember the name of the song. She has this lyric that goes, "Everybody wasn't meant to get off at your stop."
Hmm.
And that's something I wish I would have known when I was younger because
Mm-hmm.
you know how you have those friendships and like, y'all grew up together and you still want to be friends with them, but at some point in life you just, happen to drift away from each other. And it could be the simple fact that y'all are just in two different spots in life
Mm-hmm.
or y'all just don't connect on anything anymore. And that lyric just resonates like everybody wasn't meant to get off at your stop. And sometimes it's not a negative reason why they weren't meant to get off at your stop. It just your stop. Sometimes people not, and I don't think everything has an expiration date, but some friendships, relationships, even relationships with your family, they just do end up having expiration dates. And
Mm-hmm.
something I wish I would have known because it would have saved me a lot of stressing trying to
Mm-hmm.
hold on to friendships or relationships or situations that just didn't serve me anymore.
That's a good one. That's so true. Like as a people pleaser myself, I think it's hard like when you start to distance from someone because it's like, did I do something? Like what's the problem? But like naturally and
Mhm.
organically, if you guys aren't interested in the same things or you're in different spots, like things are just gonna it's just gonna happen. Your
Naturally
stops are
happen.
different.
The stops are different for real.
Well, we've talked a little bit about things about you, getting to know your personality a little bit more. But now I want to dive into kind of like your history, your background, and what you do on a day-to-day basis. You're currently working in the entertainment industry. What inspired you to get in this field?
It's so funny because I remember being really young, like kindergarten, and you know how they go around a circle, like, oh, what's everyone's occupation? What do you guys want to be? And I vaguely, not even vaguely, vividly remember saying I wanted to be a firefighter. And I was like, why did I even say that? And I don't know why I said it to this day. I still can't remember. And then I realized that that's like saving lives. I think I just like to save people. I think that might be something that I'm interested in. And then as I got older, I started to be in the arts. So like I did acting, I did some dancing. I tried to sing. That form of like performance is also a form of helping. It helps people with laughter. It helps people be able to digest certain topics that are tough through entertaining, which is also what helping people. But then when I went to high school, I thought I wanted to be a dentist, which is again helping people and oral health.
Yeah.
So I got into the entertainment industry because I felt like I would be able to help people through laughter and understanding storylines and stuff like that. So that's how I got into it. But like because like I was going the dental route, going to Howard, but then I started my first biology class, and I said,
Ooh.
"Ooh, LOL, this is not for me." And then I flipped to television film, and I was like, "Yep, this is where I needed to be."
That's awesome. I think that's a beautiful way to put it because people that work in the entertainment industry, actors, singers, people behind the scenes, like everything, you are helping put on a show. At the end of the day, you're putting on something to make people smile, laugh, cry, whatever it is, you're invoking emotion and like you're helping people heal. Like in a way, you are like,
And that's why like they had this whole joke at Howard, like our school was titled because we were like School of Communication, so our acronym was SOC. So
mm,
everybody will always be like, "Oh, y'all are School of Coloring, y'all don't do anything, like y'all don't really." And I'm like, "Do you realize School of Communication is like a form of entertainment? Y'all
mhm,
get on Twitter every day, y'all get on Instagram. That's a form of entertainment, and people like us are leading." The entertainment industry and y'all consume entertainment 24/7. I
mhm,
don't need to go to the doctor 24/7, which yeah, I go for my annual checkups here and there. But yes, you save lives, but I don't have to go 24/7. You're
right.
engaging in I'm doing 24/7. You watch TV, you watch movies, you listen to podcasts, you listen to music. So it's
Mhm.
just like you do that daily. So
Yeah.
School of Color, but I'm saving your life because I can't live without music. I love you, TV,
Yeah.
So it's just like, watch what you say to people. Watch what you
Yep.
say.
Clock that because we remember. So you probably have a pretty demanding schedule, like between work and everything you're doing there. and you also create content and like are consistent with it, because it's one thing to be a content creator, but you consistently are pushing out high quality videos and short form videos on TikTok, Instagram, all those things. How do you like manage a schedule?
That I don't have a schedule. Honestly, I'm actually working on a gig right now, which unfortunately I can't talk about. It's like I work 12 hours. Normally, I'm scheduled to work 12 hours every day, and I get 2 days off. If it calls for us to get 2 days off. So what I normally do is like what everybody knows, batch create. On my days off, I try to have a small little script of like, oh, this happened to me this week. So like I still do like the fashion and beauty and the lifestyle content, but I have realized that a lot of people when I do speak, like I post like videos or rants and stuff like that, they do really well. So like something happened to me during the week, I could just like prop up my phone and be like, yo, this happened. Like, how do you feel about the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Open for discussion, stuff like that. But in terms of the fashion videos and like beauty, it's like really hard for me to keep a schedule because I
Mm-hmm.
work 12 hours. But I would say on my days off, I literally just want to chill, decompress, watch TV that I missed up on. But one thing I will say that I try to do is keep it all in my notes. I put everything in my notes because I'm always on my phone. So then I'll like go and check and be like, oh, I got 15 minutes to waste. Pull out the camera, do something. That's why I think it's easier for me to kind of be consistent because it's not something that I'm forcing. Like I do like nice clothes and I enjoy rants and I watch, I do like I do it on a daily basis. So it's like a lot easier. It's
Right.
just for me to pull out the camera and record.
Yes, no, and that's the biggest hurdle sometimes. It's like I have all these ideas. It's not even about finding the time, it's the motivation to do it. Cause like, yeah, I just got off work and like I want to chill. Like I want to sit on my couch and do nothing. But man,
Really.
sometimes you just gotta pull yourself up and make it happen. It's hard to manage a schedule with everything you have going on. 12 hours is a lot of work, but I'm sure it's worth it. If you had advice for someone that's wanting to get in the entertainment industry, wanting to kind of work in roles similar to yours, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
The advice that I would give anybody who's like willing or wanting to work in the entertainment industry in similar roles like mine would to just be dive into it. Like it's kind of hard to get into the industry, but once you find that one entry point, like you're open to amazing different lanes and revenues and stuff like that in the entertainment industry. There's this thing which is basically like the entry level, what I'm doing right now, because like I said, I graduated and I didn't have any real life experience. So being a PA and being a PA is essentially just assisting the production wherever they need assisting with. And that allows you to like connect with producers, that allows you to connect with audio people if you're interested in audio, that allows you to connect with the camera people if you're interested in learning how cameras and how to film a specific type of program that's being televised or a movie. I would tell you social media and Google are your best friends. Search it. How do I get into the entertainment industry? What is the first steps of getting into the entertainment industry? And everything that I basically just said will more than likely pop up. So if you're interested in it, I'll just say dive right into it. It is a lot of work. It is very stressful. And due to the fact that we have a lot of budget cuts in the entertainment industry right now, it might be difficult for you to get paid good. But if you are interested in you like what you're doing, you should be fine.
In general, with communication roles, like you see that pretty often. We are not compensated in the way that doctors and other people are, but like overall, it's like what we're passionate about. We're passionate about putting a creative project out and like really showing the world, not even just like our talent, but just like something that's a cohesive, great project overall. For anyone that's interested in working in entertainment or communications, it is one of those industries where paying your dues is kind of the culture of everything. And like eventually you'll get up to a point where you are making great money, but when you start out, you definitely have to make some sacrifices.
And I would say like paying dues and also, yes, you now made it to the level where you want to be, but also reaching back and like bringing up people and letting them understand that like give them grace to learn and not just be like a butthole and just be like, oh, I got mine. Now it's time to get yours. Like I
Yes.
dislike people like that. And in this industry, you find a lot of people like that,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yes. No, 100%, especially being Black people in the industry, like paying it forward and really like helping people that are up and coming. Like mentorship is really important, especially in an industry like this where, you know, you had to claw your way into it. You graduated and like had to really build the opportunities for yourself. Like help make it easier for the next people that are coming in. What keeps you motivated to continue to show up when you have these kind of demanding days and like you want to make content after, you know, you just have to keep going, keep pushing? What's motivating you?
All the hard work that we put into it, and then having the consumers interact with the end product and saying like either if it was bad, and then like we understand why it was bad and why the fans felt the way that it felt, or if it was like good, we understand like okay, the fans like this, and you know, keep doing this for the next installment or whatever we're doing. And I kind of like that feedback. Honestly, I enjoy criticism. I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the feedback that we get, because if you don't really get constructive criticism from the fans, or like they just like, oh, it was good. It's like, okay, well, what was good about it? Tell
Mm-hmm.
me more. I hated it. Okay, well, tell me what you hated about it, because then maybe we'll understand. Okay, next time. Because at the end of the day, these projects and all this other stuff, if you have supporters, you want to make your supporters happy. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you have the supporters and they're happy, they're going to push your program or push your movie or push your event and tell their friends about it, and then you're getting more viewership. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
want at the end of the day. So I just enjoy the end product of it all. Like, yes, I cried. Yes, I bled. Yes, I was hungry. Yes, I was sleep deprived. But as long as the fans are enjoying it, I'm happy.
I like that you can take the constructive criticism because I feel like that would be on a national and global scale when people are watching, you know, behind the scenes work that you like have played a part in and really been on like grinded to make this happen and people are like I hate it. That I think that would be really hard for me.
See, I just realized like being in the industry, and I think even growing up, I just always learned that yes, you need thick skin, but also if like the constructive criticism doesn't make sense, just let it fly. Like you saying you hate it because somebody had on red, like shut up. Shut up. You just find any reason to say you don't like something, which is very weird. So,
So on the flip side of things, you have been motivated by the end product, but what are some of the experiences you've had in the entertainment industry that keep you inspired to like want to be at events or, you know, work on these projects?
yeah, so it's just like working around dope people. Like the first few events that I worked on, like I was a newbie, I didn't know anything, and like I created those bonds with my production manager, my producers, and all those other things, and it's just like they enjoy working with me, and I was like, oh, little old me, like kid from Baltimore who didn't do much in school, didn't have anything. This is new to me. Like y'all mess with me. Y'all fuck, can I cuss?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like y'all fuck with me, like oh okay. So I think that's what it is, like making those bonds with the people in the industry, because you hear those horror stories of like these people are evil, they're negative, like they don't want to see you succeed, especially like being black. You know, we don't really see a lot of black executives, a lot of black people in those rooms that are like making the calls and making the
Mm-hmm.
shots for these programs and stuff like live events and things that of that nature that we see. So that's what keeps me inspired, like making connections with genuine people who aren't assholes, and who also want to help bring up new people in the industry, train them to be successful, and have the circle, you know, the wheel keep recycling itself. Like we built, you know, we gave you the tools. Now you're out on your own, and you find somebody who like is reminiscent of you in the industry when you first started. And you like you want to give them the tools, and you hope that you gave them the right enough tools so that way when they get to the point and they see somebody else who, you know, it's
Yeah.
like we keep going.
Building generational insert word. Building generational
Literally,
right.
generational. Y'all figure it out, please.
Yeah. So to wrap things up, out of everything you've worked on, do you have any productions or projects you've worked on that you are most proud of or most excited about?
I would say the Miss USA and the Miss Teen pageant. And the reason why I say I was like most proud about that is because I was doing talent. So like the special guests and stuff that we had, like I was like sitting there assisting them whatever they needed, like talking to them and stuff like that, which was okay because like I met celebrities and things of that nature. But what I was most proud about was like actually connecting with some of the pageant girls because I don't come from a world of pageantry. None of the people in my family has ever done a pageant. So I just went in with the notion of what I hear about pageant girls, like they're stuck up, they, bougie, they don't really do much. It's just like, oh, getting glam, walking, you collect the crown, you collect the check. But sitting down and actually talking to them, like this is a full-time job. Like these girls work, well, sorry, not girls, these women work hard. Like it is a 9 to 5, and then even after 9 to 5 they're still working. And imagine being a teen, which means I forget the age range from teen, but I know it's
Mm-hmm.
like once you're past 18 you can't do teen anymore. But being in school, you have to deal with the drama in school, you have to deal with working, like homework, extracurricular activities, and then dealing with the drama of being a teen pageant girl. Like that's a lot of stress that these women put on themselves.
Yep.
It's so much pressure. And I commend those young girls, those young women, and the women who strap them heels up, them ball gowns, and smile their way through because like I gained a newfound respect for anybody who does pageantry
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just the glitz and glamour. Like these women's stories, like
Yeah.
if you don't know anything about pageantry, I don't even know a documentary or anything for you guys to watch, but I would say find a documentary. Talk to your local pageant woman. Like there's somebody in your state who has a crown. Like reach out to them and be like, tell me your story because I was sitting there like, wow. And I'm not really like an emotional person, but
Mm-hmm.
like I was like some of these women were like my sisters, and I was like, girl, I feel for you. Like I just
Yes.
want to give you the crown and give you the money.
To close things out, if people don't remember you for anything else, this is the one thing that you would want them to remember and have a lasting impact.
Lead with compassion. Like that's what I do. I try to be compassionate in this evil industry and like this evil world that we are in. But I just like to like lead with compassion because you never know what somebody's going through. And just a simple hi, how are you doing with a smile or oh, can I assist you with anything will literally go a long way because that person will remember that day that they were going through something and they remember, oh, Jaden or oh, Cameron said something to me and it like made me rethink everything that was going on. So I just want everybody to know that I lead with compassion. Y'all should try to lead with compassion because it's a great feeling, honestly.
And that's a good impression to leave on people too. Like, thank you for joining me on this episode of Let's Have Breakfast. I'm so excited we can finally do this.
Yes, thank you for having me. Like this has been months in the making.
Yeah. And tell the people where they can find you on social.
Oh, where can y'all find me? So I actually hated this at first. So I like at one point had all three of my social medias different names because I was like, I don't want people to know what I'm tweeting about. But then I was like, it's easier for branding. So you can find me on Instagram, X, Twitter, Snapchat _KAAMRON. And my YouTube channel is Kamron Daniel. And yeah, if you're looking for me professionally, my LinkedIn is underneath Cameron Brooks. If you're looking for me, want to hire me for any projects, Cameron Brooks. If you're out there, you watch this. And yeah, thank you again for having me. Like I said, not just because I'm on the podcast. Like I enjoy watching your content. I enjoy listening to your podcast. I enjoy everything that you're doing in this space, giving a voice to smaller creators who are like yourself and me who would more than like probably never be able to get an interview until we get that a million follow status. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your hard work and all the things that you do. And I'm rooting for you. Can't wait to
Thank
see you at the
you.
top.
No, I'm rooting for you too. Those vision boards are working in overtime.